Welcome to the Mac and Maj podcast. My name is Maj.
This is Mac.
All right. Well, it's been a while. We haven't talked in a while.
$100.
$100. Yeah. $100. No, this is an inside thing. Do you guys think this looks good? Like this whole environment? Because if you do, like, I guess all of our hard work is
Doing something.
doing something. But yeah, so welcome to the Mac and Maj podcast. My name is Maj. His name is Mac. That's Calor Food. So in Calor Food, Calor Food is a personal chef / meal prepping, meal catering service spearheaded by Chef Ayman Jabouri. Spearheaded.
I like the words.
You know what
I like the words.
I've been reading.
Yeah. Doing some homework.
So Chef Ayman Jabouri is a awesome chef. He'll chef you up of his meal prep, anything from his meal prep menu. He could do personal catering. He could do personal chef services. I highly encourage you guys to check out at Calor Food, CALORFOOD on Instagram. A website is coming soon. The best thing about this food is that if you have any halal zabih dietary restrictions, that's not a problem. He's got y'all.
He got you covered.
I heavily encourage you guys to check out Calor Food. Definitely great to work with, easy to work with, and the food is great. So, the hell are you waiting for?
Definitely, yeah. Go in, look at it, and you won't be disappointed.
You won't be disappointed. If for nothing else, the content is awesome.
I love the content.
The content is awesome. Help boost this dude's engagement. He's support local businesses, right? All that shebang. Right?
You don't have to cook the food.
You don't have to cook. It's not like a Blue Apron or a Hello Fresh where they just give you some shit and they're like, okay, now cook. It's like, well, I would have just cooked. If you, but
I could go to the store.
Yeah, I could just go to the store and buy food.
Yeah, that's why I like his direction. So it's cool.
Yeah. So we got a good one for you guys today. We for the first time in about 2 decades, we're gonna have a topic that's not sports related. It's just been a weird month for that.
Well, on that note, we're gonna start with sports.
We're definitely gonna start with sports. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is the NBA. So the last time we spoke, the only team that was yet to advance to the semifinals was Atlanta. It was the Philly and Atlanta game.
Atlanta, yep.
Was happening.
The conference.
And yeah, Atlanta won, which I think caught a lot of us by surprise.
Yeah, it was a surprise to me, that's for sure.
It was a surprise for a few reasons. First of all, Ben Simmons, like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, there's so much talk on Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons is like the butt of every joke.
Is he the? Yeah, they're like he needs to leave.
I mean, Doc Rivers. They asked him. They said, "Do you think he could be a point guard on a championship team?" He's like, "I don't know how to answer that." It's like you can't say that shit about a player you're trying to keep. Like, to me, I think you have to keep him because his upside is so high. But you need to fix whatever's going on with him. You need to hire a shooting coach.
I don't think they'll get rid of him now. Like, okay, he had a really bad.
He had a bad game. He scored 5 points in I think
which
the
is
elimination
unacceptable
game.
for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, it's Ben Simmons. If it were me, 5 points. That's like, oh my god, most improved player of the year. Like,
yeah, seriously. But no, he definitely didn't show up, and that's the reason why they lost.
It's a confidence thing. It's a confidence.
You think so?
I think his confidence is shot.
Did you see his his free throws?
Which one? All of them.
But come on.
Yeah.
Like hit the rim.
To me, it's a confidence thing. Because I was reading this thing by like all these professional shooting coaches. They said his form's not bad. Like his form's not bad, and he's doing the right things. His technique is on point. It's just his confidence is shot. Dude.
I wonder what happened to his head.
His head.
Like, what's in his mind?
Oh, yeah. I don't even know. I think it's because he saw Devin Booker was playing his ass off, and Devin Booker's dating Kendall Jenner, his ex-girlfriend. Maybe there's like a whole thing there. But grow up, dude.
I don't think basketball players have that problem.
I mean,
like on the court.
I don't know. He was thinking about something. He wasn't thinking about basketball.
I wonder why he didn't do any interviews. Did he? I don't know if he did.
He did. He said that the loss was on him, and he'll own that, and he'll have to go and work this offseason. But look, I mean, the tough part about Ben Simmons is he's getting you 10 rebounds, 10 assists a game, 2 steals, 3 steals, awesome on defense. He just can't shoot. And I don't know if that's worth trading. Like,
well, I mean, I need some numbers.
Fundamentally, like I would say the most important thing in basketball is getting the ball in the basket.
That's the
right?
point.
It's just
yeah.
it's like from a fun, like if you're looking at the highest level, dumb it down.
It's not like soccer where you can be on defense. You don't need to score.
Yeah, like I just don't. I don't think that there's a way for you to be successful in the league and not be able to put the ball in the basketball hoop.
Right.
In the game called basketball. Like I get his plus minus whatever. He's a great defender, great perimeter defender, great he could defend 1 through 5, but like he can't score, bro.
Yeah.
Like I can't have a point guard that can't score. If my star point guard is averaging like 5 points a game, but over the course of the playoffs, I think he was at 14 points a game, but still that's
not enough.
Come on, dude. Come on, you have
that's not enough to get you to the finals or win you the series.
KD and Donovan Mitchell and like a few of these other guys averaging over 30 a game, and you're out here like 14.
But look, on the whole other side, you have
the Hawks.
The Hawks
played their asses off. Trae Young was insane. Kevin Hoarder or whatever, however you pronounce his name, the ginger guy that looked like looked like he worked at Home Depot, just absolutely lit them up. Like I don't know how. Look. I think that
not only did they beat Philly, they beat the first game against Milwaukee.
Yeah, they took the first game against Milwaukee. That's insane to me. And Milwaukee spanked the shit out of them in game 2. But if you're Atlanta, you're like, hey, we took one. We took one away from home.
Yeah.
We took one away from home, and that's
away
big.
From them. That's a huge advantage.
That's big because now they're going back for 2 games in Atlanta. I mean, they got home court advantage, whatever that means anymore. But
well, now I think it's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Just because a lot of fans and stuff. Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. I think what's really interesting about that series is that the best players on those teams are very different in stature. Like Giannis is like 6'10", Trae Young is 5'11". That's crazy.
Yeah, Trae Young is dropping insane shots.
I mean, Trae Young and Devin Booker, there was a lot. I mean, I think that in the NBA, a lot of the credibility in basically the clout comes from what you do in the playoffs. Like the regular season doesn't matter as much because once you get to the playoffs, that's when things matter. That's why Paul George, who we'll talk about in a second, that's why Paul George gets shat on all the time because he's a great regular season player, but in the playoffs he just plays like shit sometimes.
Yeah.
But Trae Young and Devin Booker, these guys, I think Trae Young was the 2018 draft, maybe 2017, 2018. I think it was 2018 draft. I mean, he's balling his ass off.
Yeah,
he's balling his ass off. Devin Booker's still not even 25 yet.
So are you still confident that Milwaukee will go to the finals?
I want to say yes, but.
How would you feel if Atlanta goes?
I'd be ecstatic, bro.
Really?
Yeah, it's a better story. Because I don't give a shit about any of these teams that are left. I have no allegiances to Atlanta, Milwaukee, the Clippers, for God's sake, or Phoenix. But, I mean, I want to see the best stories. And the best story out of the East is if the Hawks somehow, some way, made it from, I think they were the 5th seed, beat the Knicks, who were the 4th seed, beat the Sixers. Winning in New York and Philly, those are hostile work environments, bro. Like, I'm really happy for them. I'm really happy for them, and I hope they move on. But just realistically, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but we'll see. So that's the Eastern Conference, right? The Western Conference, this shit's kind of crazy. The Suns are up 3-1 right now.
The Suns?
The Suns are up 3-1. As of Saturday night.
That's right.
As of Saturday night.
So tomorrow they're playing. On Monday they're going to be playing their 5th game, Game 5.
Game 5, yes.
So if Suns win that, that's it.
It's a wrap, yeah.
Wow, they're gonna wait a while.
Game 5 is in Phoenix too.
They're gonna wait a while for someone on the East to win. They'll have a big break if they win tomorrow. If they win on Monday,
they'll have a good break. Yeah,
they'll have a good break. I mean, at least a week.
But probably at least a week. Yeah.
At least a week.
Yeah.
And then they have a few days after that for the East to have their break.
Oh, yeah.
So they might have like a week and a half to 2 weeks.
I mean, that's amazing. If they seal the deal, and I think they will. I think they will seal the deal.
So what I was looking at, and I was distracted a bit, but apparently, never was there a 5th seed, like a 5th seed that actually like went to the NBA Finals.
Really?
So if Atlanta does it, they'll be the first.
The first 5th seed. That's crazy.
There was a 6th seed that went in, but that was only once.
Who was that?
I'm trying to find out.
Well, anyway, I mean, I think the Suns and Clippers.
Houston Rockets in 1995.
Oh, the Kenny the Jet was on that team. Hakeem Olajuwon, the whole shebang. So what I'm trying to see honestly is how are the Clippers going to respond to the last game? There's a few games now. I think it was game 4, which was Saturday night, and then game 2, where Paul George missed huge free throws.
Yep.
Huge free throws. And it's just tough to see. Playoff PP, playoff poo poo. That's.
I mean, did you see like game 4? Not a lot of points were.
It was the
84 to 80.
It was the lowest scoring game
I've seen so far in this series.
It was the lowest scoring game in the playoffs and maybe in the NBA this year. Or no, I read a stat. There was 658 games in the NBA this year that scored higher than.
No way.
Yeah.
It was just surprising to me. I don't know, but because like all the other games were in the hundreds, like 90s, I get it, but like now you go down to 80s.
Well, I mean, I watched the game. They played like no one can make shit. Like no one was making shit.
It wasn't a good game, but the Suns
But
won.
the Suns are showing me something with DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker. These young guys are honestly, I think anywhere Chris Paul goes, the young ones elevate somehow. And they ball their asses off. I think they've been doing great. Don't forget, they missed Chris Paul for what was it? The first 2 games?
Yep.
First 2 games they missed Chris Paul. He came back, they took an L, but they bounced back and they got a dub yesterday.
And they still won.
Yeah. So
but they lost when he came back.
3-1. Not many teams come back from 3-1. I think that it happened a lot. Was it last year the Nuggets did it twice or some shit like that? But I think
in general it doesn't.
It's less than like.
And I don't really think it will work here.
No, it's like I would probably guess
because the Monday game, their game 5, it's at Phoenix.
It's in Phoenix, yeah.
So
that's a tough environment to go get a win in.
That's tough.
It's a tough environment to go get.
Like
a win.
maybe they'll get one.
Yeah.
Next.
Maybe I don't think, but the absence of Kawhi Leonard because of this ACL thing. Now they're not coming out and saying it's a tear, but it might be a sprain. Yeah. And a sprain.
They want to keep it a surprise.
So I just learned this. So a sprain is like when it's stretched. Right, so I sprained ligaments in my ankle, and the doctor told me you stretched ligaments. Apparently, that just means a sprain. But I was in a boot for like 2 months.
Really? That was just a sprain?
It was just a sprain to the ligaments in my ankle.
Eesh.
And the ACL, I mean, people say that knees are important for basketball. I tend to disagree. But yeah, I don't know if he's going to bounce back. He's probably not going to make it back for the remainder of these playoffs, even if they were to advance. Yeah. So to me, that series is just put them in the casket and bury them.
To me, it's done.
It's done. Yeah. Milwaukee and Atlanta, there's some weird stuff going on there. I don't want to write off Atlanta because I wrote them off 2 series in a row. I said the Knicks were going to win, and then I said Philly was going to win. Not going to write them off completely. I do think Milwaukee's going to win, but I'm not going to say for the certain that that's going to happen.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting next week because this whole week. All right, if on Monday we just find out that the Suns won, it's done. Mm-hmm. Suns, we expected it's going to go. Then the rest of everyone's just going to be focused on Milwaukee and Atlanta. Yeah. And it's just up for grabs. Yeah. Because if Atlanta wins the next game, that's interesting.
That's very interesting.
Like, if they go up to 2-1, that's going to be
a lot of people say, so the notion is a series doesn't start until the home team loses. Because if the home team meaning the one with home court advantage, so they start off the series in their land. Because if the home team keeps winning, out of the 7 games, they have 4 at home and 3 away. Mm-hmm. But when the home team loses a game that early, especially game 1, shit is just...
And you're Milwaukee.
It's going to be very interesting.
Because now it's back to square one.
Now it's back to square one.
To anyone.
Yeah. So now it's just a 5-game series.
Yes.
Whoever wins 3 out of the next 5 wins. And in order for Milwaukee to win 3 out of the next 5, they need to take one in Atlanta. Right? Atlanta does not need to take one in Milwaukee again.
Yes.
So it's very interesting. Very interesting. So that's basketball. My prediction for this is that Milwaukee comes out, and then obviously the Suns will have Milwaukee.
You know what? I did this twice.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to do it this time.
You're going Atlanta?
I'm going to say Atlanta this time.
I'm okay with that. I mean...
I know you are, but I'm saying it might happen.
It literally might happen because the past 2 times I was so sure that Atlanta was not going to make it.
I know. And they keep surprising me. And you know what? I'm going to stop betting against them.
Yep. All right, so that's basketball. So now with the Euro. So
Oh, yes.
let's recap the games that have happened so far in the round of 16. Okay. Let's talk about the matchups and the ones that are yet to come. Let's give our predictions for them. How about
Okay.
that? Okay, so the two games two games happened on Saturday. We had Denmark and Wales. They beat the shit out of them. And then Italy and Austria. That was a good game. Went into overtime.
Yep.
Went into extra time.
That goal was insane though by Italy.
Yeah, three goals in extra time is ridiculous. That's like an insane statistic.
So Italy went through.
Italy went through and Denmark went through, so that's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
Shout out Denmark with all the shit that happened to Ericsson and
Honestly,
everything like that. So a game is going on right now as we speak. Netherlands, Czech Republic.
Yes.
It's currently 0-0. I think Netherlands pull that one out.
Yeah.
Okay, you think Netherlands pull that one out?
I want them to.
Okay, cool.
I want
Yeah,
them
I mean you're a Netherlands fan.
Yeah, I want them to.
Okay, then
I don't want to bet against them.
later today you have Belgium and Portugal.
Yes.
Can this one end in a tie? Maybe.
Well, it can.
I
have to think about your question for a minute.
My honest opinion.
I think Belgium's gonna win. You think Portugal can win this? Hello?
If Portugal, I'm thinking, if Portugal plays. The thing is like we talked about this on this podcast. I don't know how good Belgium is because they haven't played anyone good yet.
So we're gonna find out today.
Yeah, so we're gonna find out today. I know Portugal were able to fend off France. The whole Germany shit. I mean, I want to say Germany shit was a fluke. I want to say it's a fluke.
I want to forget about all the other teams and look at Belgium and Portugal.
I think Portugal takes this game.
Because this is an important game. The knockout stage for me is important.
And
so
to be
the way
honest,
they play is how they play.
Italy, other than Italy, I think Belgium and Portugal have the best chance to win this. Like
other than Italy,
I mean,
I think Netherlands have a good chance.
Netherlands have a good chance. I think Italy is just the favorite now because they only conceded one goal so far, but they haven't played that much great competition. But yes. I mean, momentum builds. Like so, even if they weren't the best team, if they have that momentum and confidence, they'll win games that they shouldn't win. Just how Atlanta just took game one.
Right.
But okay, yeah, you have Belgium, I have Portugal, then you have Croatia, Spain. I'm gonna take Spain.
Really?
They just won 5-0. They're riding on a high. Like I think they'll pull this one out.
This is the problem with Spain. They do this.
Yeah.
They do this. They win 5-0, then the next game they lose 5-0.
Yeah.
I'm going with
Croatia.
Croatia.
So then you have France, Switzerland.
Okay, France.
Yeah. England, Germany.
I get France is not doing well.
But they'll figure it out.
But they'll figure that game out.
Yeah.
They can figure that game out.
England, Germany. I'm taking Germany. I think England has a huge tendency to disappoint. Like a massive tendency to disappoint.
What do you think, Duck? Look, Germany's amazing this year.
Yeah, and I don't know how if they play like they played against Portugal, I don't know how this team loses.
Germany has that though. They have that problem.
That they don't.
That's when they come up with like an insane moment to win, they lose.
They do. They're not. They don't have a clutch.
And it's
team.
England. I feel like those two teams are so perfectly like it's going to be such a great game. You're saying Germany?
I think I'm going to go with Germany. I think it's going to be a great game, but I think I'm going to go with Germany.
I'm going with England.
That's tough.
It's tough.
I admire you, sir. It's
tough, but
that's a tough decision.
I feel like, bro, the thing is, like, forget about how they play for a second. Just look at the roster.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, England is deep as shit.
Bro, they have amazing players.
Yeah,
forget about the ones on the bench.
Yeah.
Like, and Raheem Sterling's doing insane work.
Now. I don't know why he's doing this well.
He's doing so well, like above my expectations.
Yeah, because he didn't end the season.
He didn't.
City season strong.
No, he wasn't playing that well, but like with England, he's doing insane.
Yeah. Then Sweden, Ukraine. So okay.
Sweden, Ukraine.
I'm gonna go Sweden.
I really think Ukraine's gonna win. Ween. I think they're gonna win.
Isn't ween like a?
Can it be a Ukrainian word?
You think Ukraine?
I think they've been playing really well. I've been watching all of their games. Ukraine. I don't know why, but every time I turn on the Euro, they're playing. So I watch.
I mean, to me, Ukraine or Sweden hasn't lost in this competition.
I mean,
They haven't lost yet. They played Spain, Poland, and
no one's perfect, right? They're gonna lose. I think Ukraine will go through.
you think Ukraine will go through?
I think
Okay.
so.
So the crazy thing about the Euros is if you look at the standings, like and who went through, who didn't go through. A lot of the most of our picks went through. Like the strong majority of our picks went through.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Like there weren't any crazy upsets. Like okay, Sweden
no,
finished top of the group.
I think the group stages were clear. So now it's the
It was
knockout.
relatively clear.
This is where it gets interesting because the only two teams that have passed the knockout stage right now are Italy and Denmark.
Yes.
Today you're going to find out another two games. And whoever wins from Belgium and Portugal will play Italy. So that's going to be an insane.
Yeah, I think the Belgium
That's going to be a great game no matter who goes
the
through.
Belgium and Portugal game I think is big because if either one of those teams get the momentum, like if Portugal beats Belgium or Belgium beats Portugal, they're going to go into the rest of the competition with confidence.
Yes.
Especially Portugal, because if Portugal is like, okay, we lost against Germany, but we survived against France and we beat Belgium.
But look, Italy's biggest competition is going to be this next one.
Yeah.
It's going to be because that's the first time they play some,
Yeah. it's the first time they play an actual team. Yeah. Well,
So-
I mean, no disrespect to like Austria or whatever, but like,
No. I you know what I mean, like the favorites.
yeah, the
of
big guys,
The big guys.
the big guys. My thing with Italy is they're overperforming, but they've been disciplined. They've been disciplined. They're going out there getting the win and then getting the hell out.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
they're not making mistakes.
Because I'm looking at the bracket right now. If Italy passes whoever's going to win from Belgium and Portugal, most likely they'll play France.
I mean, eventually, if you're gonna win, you're gonna have to play all the hard teams. That's just how it works.
I get it. But like,
It's gonna be tough.
like that left side of the bracket is way harder than the right side of the bracket.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this though. So excited. I mean, the rest of the games that are happening are pretty good games. Like every game, other than like Sweden and Ukraine, even though Sweden has been playing really well, so has Ukraine. Like all the notable guys are going to be playing the next two days.
Yep.
Like Belgium, Portugal, Spain, France, England, Germany are
So
all
now
playing.
that we see this bracket, who do you think will go through? Let's just talk about the final real quick. Who do you think will actually go through?
So
Who do you want if you're looking at the bracket?
you start.
All right. So for me, on the left side of the bracket, I think it's going to be. I don't know why, but I feel like Belgium's going to get to the final.
Okay, so on the left side of the bracket, you have Belgium and Portugal, Italy and Austria. So the winner of those two advance to the semis, and then France, Switzerland, Croatia, Spain. So with our picks, you would have Belgium, Italy, and then France, Croatia.
And then yes, France, Croatia.
So Belgium, France. It could be a semifinal here.
Yes,
Belgium, France, Portugal,
yeah.
France. That could be a semifinal.
Exactly. Yes.
And Italy, France, honestly. Yeah, but the thing
But
is,
what I'm saying is, I think Belgium, France will go to the semifinal, or the semifinal over there, and then Belgium will go through to the final.
wow, the right side's kind of not a joke, but
That's what I'm saying. Like the right side, I think, in my opinion, who's going to go through to the semifinals first? I think it will be Germany and England and Netherlands, and Netherlands will go to the final with Belgium. It's just what I think.
Okay.
This could definitely be wrong, but I'm just thinking.
Wow, this is interesting. Yeah, I like this. I like this. I like the way this bracket is set up. I'm not going to lie, because you have the left side, you're going to have either Belgium or Italy, Portugal, Italy in the semis, and then France, Spain, or France, Croatia. I think France beats Switzerland, which is a good game. And then the final. Wow. So I don't want to be in a situation where I see like Croatia in the final again. Sorry, Croatians, but like that's not what I'm trying to see. Like Luka Modric is great, but I'm trying to see like a stacked team go to the final.
It's hard. It's hard. I don't think they'll beat France. Unless they do, then that's another World Cup final.
Oh, yeah. Because they're going to. So if Croatia and France play, that's a rematch of the World Cup.
That's a rematch of the World Cup in the quarterfinals.
And you know what's funny? If Portugal and France play again, that's a rematch of the last Euro final.
If who?
If Portugal and France play in like the semis.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen. I don't think that will happen. You think Spain will go all the way there?
I said Portugal and France.
Oh, I thought you said. I don't know why you said Spain.
No. Portugal and France. So they were in the group together, but they also they.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
Euro,
a possibility.
The last Euro was Portugal versus France.
Bro, the left side,
Strong as shit.
there's no way. There's like a million possibilities.
Yeah, I think that the England Germany game is going to be good. I don't know, man. Now I'm thinking about it. Maybe England does win that game. Who knows?
England's doing great. They were the first in their group. They were the first in their group. I get their group wasn't that great. Understood. But like Germany, like okay, they were the second in Group F.
Yeah, but it's because they got like one win.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's really tough to understand who's gonna win that game. It could go either way.
Yeah,
that's gonna go to penalties. Which one do you think is going to penalties? I think that one's going to penalties.
I think that we're gonna see at least a few games go to penalties.
Definitely, you're gonna see a lot of penalty games.
Yeah. I think as the stage gets a little brighter, a lot of these players are young too. When you're looking at Germany, you're looking at England, you're looking at France. France, I mean, they won competition. Same with Portugal, but the team is still a little different. But those teams are young. Mm-hmm. Those teams, especially the England team. The England team is real.
Yeah, that's
real
what I'm
young.
saying. Like, if anyone has the younger team and are able to get, if you just look at rosters, you would just say England is going to the final and they will win.
But my thing is the younger teams, what they lack is
experience.
Sometimes experience and presence of a veteran that's able to guide them through the process.
But they do, look, I get it, but they do have some sort of like experience with like Harry Kane and...
Oh yeah, they do. Same with Germany. All these young, like, you see...
Germany's a mix.
Gnabry, Havertz, but you also see Muller.
Havertz is insane.
You see Muller. Kimmich, he's... Cruz. I mean, Kimmich is young, but Kimmich plays for Bayern. So anyone that plays for Bayern is
Germany has an amazing team too, bro. This is just twang.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. So I think that this is going to be a good competition. This is going to be a good round of 16. By the time we are back for next week's pod, I think all of the games will be played out. And we're going to start the next round, I think. Yes. I think, right? Because the last game gets played out for the round of 16 on Wednesday or Tuesday?
1, 2, 3,
Tuesday.
4, 5. So we have 6 more games that need to be played. By next week we'll know who's in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, the quarterfinals will have started. Maybe we'll try and get you guys something before that.
Yeah, let's see if we can.
Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, because the quarterfinal starts on Friday. Maybe we get you guys something before that, then take a break for July 4th weekend or something like that. We'll let you know what happens. But yeah, so let's try to do that. Let's try and get something before.
Let's do something before. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, and have a nice weekend. Okay, cool. So without further ado, the boys are going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be back with not sports.
Not sports.
With not sports. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Be right back.
See ya.
All right. So we're back. So to shift off of sports, an important development that's been happening, and I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not, but what's going on in Silwan in East Jerusalem right now? Palestine. So to give you guys a little bit of a background, Silwan is a neighborhood of El Bustan in East Jerusalem, in occupied East Jerusalem. So what does occupied East Jerusalem mean? So the land in occupied East Jerusalem, as well as the land of the West Bank, technically, according to international law, is Palestinian land. But the reason it's called occupied East Jerusalem is because ever since '67, it's been occupied. Essentially, nothing has been done about it.
Yes.
So what's going on in Silwan? So Silwan, again, neighborhood in El Bustan, people are being forcibly evicted from their homes. There was a ruling in early June saying that people had 21 days to demolish their own homes. Okay. because they wanted to build a biblical park there called King's Garden or something,
King's Garden,
something
yeah.
like that. And yeah, they just essentially said, look, you got 21 days, which is 3 weeks. You need to destroy your homes, or you could leave them if you want, but you could be fined upwards of 20,000 US dollars for the destruction of the home. So a lot of these people actually,
Stupid.
the crazy shit is a lot of these people can't hire bulldozers and contractors to come knock down their houses. They're literally like punching through the walls themselves. And it's just crazy to me that as part of this initiative, they have what is it, 1,500 potential
1,500, yeah, around
Palestinians,
there.
including upwards of 150 whatever families, are going to be forcibly evicted. So
Ethnic cleansing.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like,
I don't know. I don't know till like everyone in the world knows what's going on because there's a lot of awareness going on around this. There's a lot of people sharing this. There's a movement around it, but like nothing's being done. I don't.
yeah,
I get what you're gonna say. We know the history, and we know nothing's happening,
yeah,
and we know Israel just has a new prime minister now,
yeah,
and he's not any better, obviously, and he's not gonna do anything to help the cause or stop it or
probably
delay
not,
it
no.
or whatever.
Probably not.
I think he was put because he was going to accelerate it.
Yeah,
So
and
when do we? What needs to happen? I don't know. Like I'm not.
I don't think it's in our hands, man.
It's not in our hands. I understand.
I don't think it's in our
But
hands.
like,
I don't think there's
what's-
anything that
what's-
can
what,
happen.
What is it going to take for the big guys to say, maybe we should just like stop at least this?
You know,
You know what I mean? Like, don't solve the problem. Don't solve. I don't want you to solve the problem. You can't solve the problem.
Yeah.
But just like just stop this.
Yeah, I think my thing is like, okay, so this has been 10 years in the making, right? And one of the ways that Israel has been able to kind of spin what's going on is saying that when these houses were built 30, 40, 50, 60, hundreds of years ago, right? They didn't have building permits, so technically they're not allowed to be there. That's what they're trying to do. It's like, dog, like what? But yeah, see the shit that's going on. But okay, look, let's break it down real quick, and then we'll move away from this depressing
Yeah.
Topic.
Yes,
but we
please.
would need to bring it up. We're Palestinians. We need to bring it up. It's something that's close to our heart. But so the question is, how can this change, right? So we've seen in our lives the biggest inflow of social media support that we've seen in a long time.
Yes, I agree.
But one of the biggest problems is this day and age is we live in a microwave era. And what does that mean? Everything's very quick. Everything goes very quick and it's not savored, right? So a lot of this support and shit like this happens very quick because it's the trend and then the trend dies. Okay? So during the pandemic, a lot of things have happened, whether it's with what's going on with Black Lives Matter, the Uyghur Muslims, Palestine, like a lot of stuff has been happening. What's going on in Tibet, and a lot of support has come in. But what I'm fearing personally, and maybe I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, is that activism is not becoming a part of who people are. It's becoming just a trend that they want to follow. Like they think that that if they post something on their social media a few times, people will think that, oh, this person is loving and accepting, when they're not really doing what needs to be done, which is continuing to do it.
Yeah, but with these, I get what you're saying.
That's just my fear.
No, I get it. But with these movements and with these, activities that are going on, even if it is just something that people like just get on the wagon and just follow just because it's a trend, there are some things that have been like resolved because of
no, 100%. But and that's good. But my thing is like, because we're able to resolve things, why are you jumping off the wawagon?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I get that. Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Because I think the protest that's happened, and we'll talk about the Derk Chauvin case a little later. But the protests that have happened specifically for Palestine and like all of the foreign aid that's being sent by these countries, awesome. Like awesome, great. But the thing is, when you see results, you don't quit. You push for more results.
Yeah. But like for me, like going back to the whole Silwan stuff and everything that's been happening in terms of ethnic cleansing in the past few weeks in Palestine is that when the bombing started happening with Gaza and everything, it took a while for Biden to talk about, ceasefire and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, he did the talk,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Yeah.
Right. So why not have a talk about this ethnic cleansing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like it's more.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you what I fear?
Like, does someone have to bomb just to have the conversation?
Well,
I get it's political. I get it's just a show.
Well, it's a proximity
but
thing.
Just show
too.
it.
It's a proximity thing too.
Yeah.
If this was closer to home, if this was closer to here, they would address it. But because it's far away, and a lot of people,
But they addressed the ceasefire technically.
but it took them a while.
It did. But they did it.
But the ceasefires and things like that they'll address, because the ceasefire they'll say, okay, stop the violence, whatever. The ethnic cleansing stuff like Silwan, that stuff doesn't make American news.
No,
So they don't have
that.
to address it. The bombings
But
and
it
stuff
did.
like that.
But it did.
American news in a mainstream way of Silwan being on Fox News, CNN.
It was
all
on
of those.
CNN.
But
Not Silwan. I don't know if Silwan was, but remember the whole Sheikh Jarrah
Well,
situation
but the Sheikh Jarrah, okay, and here this ties back to my fear. The Sheikh Jarrah situation
was part of the beginning.
was part of the beginning
yes.
where the activism was there.
Yes, I agree.
And now Silwan, which is arguably more accelerated,
And it's on a much larger scale.
yes, is not. And that comes back to my problem where we live in a microwave era where things go very quickly. We don't savor moments, and we don't ride waves long enough. Like how long do you keep clothes? How long do you keep furniture? How long? Yeah, everything is just so quick because trends change. But what I'm begging you guys of is that if you're going to support Palestine, I'm so happy that I'm seeing all this influx of support. But we are a people that have had to deal with this type of action and cleansing for many years now, right? So please, if you are going to be part of this initiative, part of this,
Movement,
activism movement, whatever you want to call it, please don't jump ship that early.
Yeah, I think there should be. Remember how there was so many like protests and everything
Yeah.
at a very large scale worldwide.
Yeah,
I think that needs to happen again, even larger right now.
It does, and the thing is we need to take a step back and look at our value as human beings. Let's look at our value. Let's look at the value that we bring to the table. Okay. As a human being, if you step away from the situation, right, you can't look like, to me, I can't comfortably look at myself and feel any type of fulfillment knowing that I rode away for a little bit and now I'm gone, and I feel like, oh, I did my part. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
that's not doing anything.
that helps. I promise you, it helps. But it gets people to talk. It gets people to listen. Whatever. But if we're trying to influence and drive at real change, we can't think of it in the microwave mindset that our generation and maybe a generation above us have been conditioned to think of, just because the external factors going on in the world.
Yeah, and you need to start taking action from now before something. I get what's happening in Silwan is huge, but I'm saying
It could always get worse.
it can get much worse.
It could always
So
get
don't
worse.
wait for that to happen and then start the discussion. Start having it now, continue it, and keep riding the wave, like you said.
And I don't want this to be taken as us, criticizing the people that have shown support of the movement. No, I'm so happy that a lot of non-Arabs, non-Palestinians were part of this movement. You guys crushed it. You did a great job. Now I'm asking for your sustained support.
Exactly.
Because your support had such impact in the early stages of this movement that happened, a month or two back.
We didn't change anything, but
we made some noise.
We're making noise.
We made some noise. And I really would appreciate if we continue to make noise, because you guys, these non-Arabs, non-Palestinians that supported this movement, you gave us hope. You gave us hope, right? And I think seeing these faces, white, black, Hispanic,
everyone,
Eastern Asian, just everybody that you wouldn't expect to be part of this movement were there, showing up in like crazy quantities. You guys gave us hope. So please, continue it, because what you did was awesome. I'm not criticizing in any way, shape, or form. I just think that your help added so much value that if there's any way I could get on my platform and ask for that to be sustained and continued, I as a responsible Palestinian, or maybe not even as a Palestinian, as a human being, need to do so.
Yeah, definitely. I think it just needs to be pressed a little bit more, and expanded, and keep the discussion going.
And we
Don't
need
stop.
Yeah. As long as we're loud and proud, we're going to be good. Now, what the outcomes are, that's not in our control.
That's not.
But what we can do is we can apply pressure.
Yeah,
that's
pressure.
all we want to do.
Pressure sometimes at least steers discussion.
And the pressure we need to apply needs to be civilized. It needs to be diplomatic. We can't just go and like a lot of these hate crimes that people have been committing towards Jewish people that have nothing to do with what's going on. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Objectively. And shit like that is what takes away value from a movement that we're trying to do. It hurts
because people are waiting for things like this.
Because
they're
this
waiting
isn't violent.
they're waiting for these movements to make that kind of mistake.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
smear the whole movement.
Absolutely. This is not a violent movement. This is a peaceful movement. This is not an anti-Jewish movement by any stretch of the means. In fact, I appreciate our Jewish brothers and sisters that have been coming out.
Yes.
Like, this is not what this is. And anyone that tells you that this is an anti-Jewish thing is stupid and it does not understand what's going on.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
This is about the Palestinian people, always has and always will be about the Palestinian people, their safety, their well-being, and their ability
rights.
Their ability to take advantage of basic human rights. Okay, so that's Silwan.
That's
Silwan. Okay, so let's talk about, just to piggyback off of that activism talk, let's talk about what's going on in Derk Chauvin case.
Yes.
So
this past week.
This past week, I think it was Friday. I'm pretty sure it was Friday. Okay. Derk Chauvin was sentenced. So he was he was guilty of first degree manslaughter, second degree manslaughter, third degree manslaughter. But on Friday, he was sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison. Now, Derk Chauvin is 45, I think, right now. Mm-hmm. So this has him going to prison for 22 years. He'll be 66, 67 when he comes out.
But he can leave earlier because you have to.
He has parole.
You serve 2/3 of that.
So
he only serves around 15 years.
He is eligible for his parole in 2036.
2036?
Yeah. 2035 or 36. And technically he already served 199 days.
Yeah, he'll be around like 60 years old.
Yeah. So in 2035 or 2036 is when he's going to be eligible for parole. I think it's ridiculous that they even had parole as part of his sentencing and as part of his time.
Yeah, a lot of people were upset with the sentencing.
Yeah, because 22 and a half isn't even a life sentence.
No, it's not.
A life sentence is 25.
Life sentence is life sentence.
No, a life sentence is 25.
It depends on the state, or is it?
No, apparently a life sentence is just 25 years. When they say 25 to life, a life sentence is 25 years.
Okay.
That's why you see people sentenced like 600 years sometimes, because like if you say a life sentence, that's 25 years.
Okay. So on immediately after the sentencing happened on national television, everyone was upset about it because
rightfully so.
Yeah, because he was supposed to get that. He didn't even get the maximum.
I think the maximum he could have gotten with the worst charge was 40.
40.
Yeah, 40.
And they gave him 22 and a half, and he can leave in 15.
Yeah.
So that was just insane to me. He'll never be able to be a cop again, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's not like what they were looking for.
Now a stat that I read is since 2000, I think there was a stat that said since 2005 there have been like 1,000 plus murders by the police of this nature, and only 11 were sentenced.
11.
Yeah.
Obviously, Derk Chauvin being the biggest one.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
I mean, that's like a 1.1% sentence rate for murders. that's a crazy stat.
So what do you think? I mean, I didn't hear a lot of noise about it.
So I think there's a few things. Okay, a lot of people are happy that he got sentenced.
Of course, that's a movement.
But to me, that tells me how low the bar is, because
Well,
so many
obviously,
times we've seen people get away with shit like this,
Yeah.
and have absolutely no repercussions for it. So I mean, a lot of people were mad about the sentencing, but you look on the bright side, 22 and a half years, still a good chunk of time, still got him sentenced. But what's tough for me is, how do you put value on a human life?
I don't know how to answer that.
Exactly. I don't know how to
I don't even want to.
Was George Floyd's life 20 worth 22 and a half years of prison? Was it? And to me, that's where it comes down to. If you killed somebody, your life should be done. Now, I'm not saying they should hang you or some shit. I'm saying you should spend the rest of your life incarcerated.
Exactly. I think that's the right way to do it.
I think so too. I mean, if you kill somebody,
He doesn't get to live. You can live, but you need to live in a jail cell for the rest of your life.
yeah, because you reap what you sow. You killed somebody, so what do you think is going to happen?
Exactly. Yeah.
You deserve the rest of your life to be taken away. Not necessarily kill them, but I mean, putting them in prison for the rest of their life and having them deal with that. That's how.
Because you put him away now at 45, he gets out at 60. I mean, really,
He's still got maybe a good 20, 30 years in him.
I know.
You know?
Which sucks.
Which isn't like, and I think that what's difficult for me is I've seen people tried for less serve more.
Yeah, of course. We see that all the time.
Yeah, that's the problem. If people being charged for like marijuana distribution get like
their whole life, literally.
Like people get life
30,
sentences
50.
for selling weed, bro.
Yeah.
This dude killed somebody.
How many times did you see on the news someone at 19 years old gets, like 30 years in jail, and then he comes out and they're like, oh, it wasn't you.
Yeah. There's situations where dude, it's crazy. I think that okay, it's great that he got time, one, but what was George Floyd's life worth? His daughter, they asked her, what would you say to your father if I love you and I miss you? Like, how do you look that girl in the eye and say your dad's life was worth 22 and a half years of incarceration, assuming that he doesn't get out on 11 years or 15 years on parole? Like, come on, dude.
He can get out earlier, I think.
I read
15 years.
I read 2035, 2036. So I don't know.
It could be. I mean that's what it is. I'm just saying.
And there's going to be appeals that happen and stuff like that. Trust me.
They have 90 days for appeal.
Yeah, they have 90 days for appeal. There's going to be an appeal that happens because every good lawyer with any sense, even if they know that there's not a shot in hell, they're going to try and appeal. Yeah. Because you don't know.
It's just unfortunate, and I know a lot of people who are upset with this, and of course,
rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, and this comes down to,
but it's a change.
It's a change because pressure was applied.
Exactly.
Pressure was applied.
Exactly.
And that goes back to what we were saying before. When you apply pressure, the result is not in your hands, but you're driving at a better result than what you would have gotten had you not applied that pressure.
That's right.
Right. So continue to keep these people accountable. Hold these people accountable. Make sure that if some shit is going on in the world that's not supposed to be going on, talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, like the George Floyd movement, like the Black Lives Matter and everything, it went on. And that was, I believe, I understand that the judge comes out and says, this has nothing to do with public opinion. This has nothing to do with blah, blah, blah. This was based on facts.
Yeah, but that's a damn lie.
It's
not his fault.
It's not his fault. It's anyone. You can't be naive.
You can't be impartial to something after everything that happened. Seeing the residual effects of this.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm
like,
happy.
Just imagine the judge just says, all right, 2 years in prison.
Yeah.
What would happen to him?
It's just not going to work.
Yeah, it's not going to work. And I definitely think he had some sort of, 22 years is not enough.
But it's still a good amount of time.
It's a good amount of time.
And a lot of people are saying justice is served or whatever. It's not. Because if justice was served, George Floyd would be alive. Okay? So let's not say justice was served. Let's say someone was held accountable. Because nothing about a guy being innocently murdered, there's no way to justify that. There's no justice for that.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't throw that on there. But it's a depressing time, man. But I think it's a good start to see these people.
I think it's a turning point in a lot of different, I keep calling it movements, but it
is movements, and hopefully one day it's not.
Yeah, it's
hopefully one day it's just regular life. Like we don't have to scream, "Don't kill innocent black people." Like,
yeah.
Or and then there's people on the internet that were saying, "Well, you shouldn't have had the fake $20 bill." It's like, bro,
who the hell?
Kids go out all the time in DC or whatever with completely fake IDs, like not even close to real IDs. And you know what they do? They just take it. Like,
Exactly.
They just take it. It's like, okay, this is my ID now. You're not allowed to have this ID. This is fake.
Goodbye.
Go.
Yes.
Leave. So I'm sorry. Like, what do you think having a fake $20 bill warrants a murder? Like, I'm sorry. Like that. If you think like that, you are truly deranged and stupid. Like, there's no way.
We're not saying anything about the $20 bill.
He was a guy that didn't deserve to die. Oh, and first of all, I mean, he wasn't inflicting harm on anybody. Like, so I don't get it. But I'm glad that some level of accountability was held. And I think we'll see what happens from these appeals. I doubt these appeals are going to change anything drastically. The sentence is probably going to be the sentence. They might mess around with when the parole is going to be. But, we'll see. Anyway. Those are our serious topics. UFOs.
UFOs. Bro, the past week I've been watching like these insane things on like CNN, Fox News, UFOs, right? They've been having apparently like Biden gave like a deadline to give them answers on what this is.
Oh yeah, so for those of you that don't know, like a month or two ago,
a
Navy pilot came out and just started talking about, like we see UFOs all the time, and everyone was like,
"Excuse me,
what?"
Yeah, and it's like it's something natural,
and we're like, "Oh, this."
And they showed us footage of that whatever it is, right? That was in the air, and then suddenly it went and it just disappeared.
Yeah, I mean,
and then it comes back.
And then what was funny is like you have like literally like generals and secretaries and all these like high. They didn't deny it. They're like, yeah, man, we support. I'm like, wait, what? You support what? Like he's not lying. Like it's
And then they're like, all right, well, we need answers now. We need the full report. You have X amount of days. I forgot when they said they need to release it by, but they're like, you need to give us a full report and everything and now it's like the topic of like national security.
Yeah. So do you believe in aliens?
I hate that question.
Do you believe in aliens?
Do I believe in alien? What do you mean by aliens?
Do you believe that there is intelligent life on other planets or other objects or whatever in space?
So without looking stupid, yes.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Now, I do think that a lot of the UFOs we see is just Elon Musk.
It could be just some rich guy.
Some rich guys just built some shit in their garage and they're just going crazy. Like, I think that's a high possibility. But I do believe...
It wouldn't be in the middle of the ocean, though. Somewhere in the middle of the ocean in the sky.
That's what they want you to believe.
But that's what the guy said. Which scares me. Like, not scares me, but it's like... Yo, we gotta look up.
Like, I mean, if they were ever going to invade or do anything crazy, I feel like that would have happened already.
Like this is what I think, right?
But it might have already happened.
But this is the thing. You know how we, as in like the Earth, the people, the human beings, are sending like rovers to like Mars and people to the moon and things like that. What if other people, other aliens, right? Are doing the same thing to Earth.
Dude, Michael Jackson was 100% a rover. Like, there's no way that guy was a human being. There's, but yeah, I mean, there's that.
That level,
there's that, and what, like, I think that I truly believe this, that there are people that we converse with on a daily basis that just aren't human.
I don't believe that.
I do believe that.
You believe that there are people on this earth that are not from this planet.
I absolutely 1000% believe that.
And they have an apartment in DC, just like living it up.
No, I don't think they have a high volume, but like I think there are absolutely. I that's what I believe. I know I'm going to sound like weird, but
heck no.
No, I hope so. But like I think it is. I think because
no.
Okay.
Give me why? Just because of the Michael Jackson?
No. But if you're sending UFOs over here, and we've been seeing them for years and years and years and years and years and years,
you think they've been just studying us,
bro? Bullshit. If they haven't made human contact, bullshit.
Okay. No, I
It's
don't know.
bullshit. No, they can't fucking just come on here in UFOs for a little. Like, okay, can I ask you a question? Why the fuck are they flying here if they're from a different planet? Have you ever thought in a plane, hey, I'm gonna fly into Mars, I'm gonna just stop by?
Why are we in Mars?
Ooh, did we land?
Well, no, the rover's there, but like that's the destination.
Okay, we have a rover, right?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have anything that could, like, we see these UFOs? They're over here flying on top of oceans and shit. You're telling me they don't dock anywhere? There's no way.
They don't have. That's the thing. They don't see that.
Okay, but I'm positive it's happening.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Okay, if you go to DC, how many times do you go to DC to just drive around and never leave your car and just come home?
A few times.
Okay, but is that the majority?
No.
People are coming down, bro. I promise you.
No, bro. I don't believe that. What do you, Ducky?
Why else would they be here? What? Look at this guy.
Don't let me. Don't do it.
Why else would they be here? A drive-through? What are they getting? Like, what are they obtaining? Why are you coming?
Maybe information. Here? Like they just come. They have maybe this insane scanner that just scans shit and leaves.
Okay, fine. Getting information, that might be worse. Like if they're just putting
I agree.
A three-dimensional model.
Whatever the situation is, it's bad.
It's bad. It's horrible.
But there are just things that we're not ever gonna know. That's what scares me. And that's why I hate governments. Just give me the information.
Okay. Let me take 1 second and then we'll come back. We'll talk more about this. Let's just take 1 second. Okay.
But listen, let me just say one thing before you go on.
Say it. Go do what you need to do.
We have to talk about it because it's scary.
It's terrifying, yes.
Right? And I want to know, like, why do governments not tell us this? I get that they don't want people to go in chaos.
Do you think contact has been made?
Yes. With who? Wait, what? Because no, you have two different.
Okay. Do you think aliens have ever in life conversed with human beings?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think we have something of them here that the government is not telling us about.
Okay, so here's my...
But I don't think he has a freaking house in Malibu Beach just chilling.
Well, I don't think it's like that, but I do think there's people around. I think there's aliens around.
I think whatever it is, it's not normal. Obviously, when whatever this alien comes here, it's hard to just like live like us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they don't have the culture stuff. They don't have the language. They don't have, I get you can learn it, but you have to have some sort of background. And they have no background that is familiar to any human. But
what if they're here for like short periods of time? Like what if they just docked to build the pyramids and then left as a shrine to like their... Like, what if they just do shit like that?
I get it. I understand that. But I'm saying is we would have noticed something at a large scale.
But how? Because the media can manipulate anything. Like, in what's in the history books, like literally, what if the Egyptians were just aliens?
But I think the media would want attention, so they would tell us if these things had happened.
Absolutely not.
But you think the media would cover up these things?
Oh, do you think the U.S. government would allow all these outlets, the books that were being taught in school, to say, yes, there's alien life out there, and at any imminent moment, they can just blow our whole shit up?
I understand that, but what I'm trying to say is they would have done something. Like, just because this little thing came out and this guy said it, they have to give coverage. I don't think
it's that many people that know about it. Like when I say do they make contact, I think they're making contact. Like if I'm an alien, I'm not going from my planet to your planet to talk to Maj. The hell's Maj gonna do for me? I'm going to the president. I'm going to.
But what I'm saying is they don't know what that looks like.
What do you mean? They've done scouting.
Well, you don't
Why do you
know.
think their ships are here?
What I'm saying is they don't know how we live. They don't know that we have something called a government and we have a president and me and you are doing a podcast.
I think they do. And let me tell you why I think they do. Because these fucking UFOs keep flying around. They're around here. So what are they doing?
Bro, let me tell you something. If they understood what we are and they know like what you're talking about at that level, like they know there's something in there.
I've been watching a lot of Marvel, by the way.
I know. It looks like you're a Thanos guy, right? So if they're just like coming to Earth and they know who we are and they can just like immediately become human beings, I think you're like conspiracying the shit out of it.
No, I don't think that they can turn into human beings. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that UFO sightings have been happening for years.
Yeah, I think that's the extent of it. Like they come in, they look at shit, and then they. But
let me tell you the difference. If they were operating something where they're trying to get a grid or a layout or something like that, that wouldn't take that long.
It's not. They don't take long.
It wouldn't take that long to hold.
The UFO comes in. They see it for 40 seconds and it's gone.
That's a good week, bro.
Huh?
I'm saying like if they were trying to just get a whole layout of Earth, if that was their only thing.
Oh, we don't know how many of those are there. That's the thing.
Yeah, because if there's UFOs that we can't see, I'm telling you, this would take a good week to get the whole Earth. It would take 1 week for them to.
Maybe.
Not on one ship, but I feel like it would take them 1 week. And this is me with my expert knowledge, obviously. But what I think is that I find it very hard to believe. Now, I'm not saying maybe contact or living among us. Forget that. I find it very hard to believe that a ship, not a single ship, has docked. I find that impossible to believe.
So let me tell you, I think they didn't. I don't think they did that. But what I think is, when you say a ship, do you mean like Thanos' ship, or are you talking about like just like a little 4x4 plane?
I don't know.
What I'm saying is, I think that they did come to Earth. I feel like the government does know, and I feel like they're holding something in their secret.
I'm positive they did, but I'm also positive a being from another planet has stepped foot on the Earth's soil. I'm positive.
I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. I think they docked.
No, you told me he's in freaking Giant buying ice cream. Like that's what you're telling me. Did I say that? You're telling me he's living among us.
No, I don't think that's impossible. I think that's less likely.
I think that's impossible.
But I think we could all agree that if there's all these fucking UFOs, there's Earth sucks, bro. Like we polluted the shit out.
So why are they interested?
I'm telling. So they must have docked. There's no way they just continue to come, fly around, survey the area. Oh, okay, look, they built a new McDonald's over there, and then they just dip.
Yeah, they're not buying a McDouble. Like that's, I know that for sure.
I don't think they're buying a McDouble, but is it out of the realm of the possibility to think that they have docked and or have sent a rover type thing to the Earth just to monitor shit?
Yes.
I think that's highly possible.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm saying the government knows about whatever it is.
I'm positive, yeah. All right, well, we just went down a whole little spiel.
This is not a conspiracy podcast.
This is not a conspiracy podcast, but
it just came up and I'm talking about it.
Yeah, Mac told me, hey, I want to talk about UFOs. I said, you know what, bro? I am ready.
All right.
All right, so that's been a awesome podcast. We talked about basketball, soccer. We talked about Silwan, UFOs, Derk, Chauvin.
It was very diverse.
Very diverse podcast. Very diverse podcast. So, as always, pray for Palestine. Pray for the peace there. We appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been giving us. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure to follow us and like our content on all of the other platforms we're on, Instagram, Facebook. We're just Mac and Maj. It's very simple.
We're everywhere.
Just search us, Mac and Maj. We're everywhere. We appreciate the support that you guys have been giving us. And yeah, we will see you next week.
Sounds good.
So I'm getting better at that.
I think you are.
I think I am.
It's not for me to judge.
All right, guys. Well, we'll talk to you next week. We appreciate all the love and support. Signing off.
See you.